From MTV News, Jake T. Austin jokes about making Hotel for Dogs 2, and now fans demand it. Subline, don't toy with our emotions, Jake. Uh, Needless to say, fans started making like Tori Vega from Victorious and freaking the freak out, tweeting things like, "This better not be a joke. I'm shook," and "Don't play with us for real."
Stephen Roderick on Twitter says, I've always respected Don Cheadle, but then I saw his closing monologue in Hotel for Dogs. Wow, such admiration.
From Twitter account Hotel for Dogs Movie at Midogaskar, white gay with a beard. Who want to give me some protein?
And a Hotel for Dogs book review. This children's story is an obvious Holocaust parable about a sibling duo of dog lovers who rescue strays from execution at the hands of Gestapo like dog catchers.
Welcome to Rough Cuts, everyone.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Andy and Bruce needed a home for their dog.
We have rules, and you know them. No dogs allowed. I need cinnamon.
I think we need to find Friday a new home.
Now they found the perfect place.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Oh yeah, why don't we just wander the streets and rescue every stray we see?
They've got the team,
Let's do this! We need to make this work.
the chase is on.
Come on, let's go. Come on, everybody.
Do you really think you could outsmart us?
Rather not answer that question.
We're outdogged.
Hotel for Dogs.
That has to be the grossest thing I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
How the fuck does
Fuck this movie.
How does it always go back to the Third Reich? What the fuck?
Okay, they did if there is one thing that
What
this
the
movie
fuck?
actually, so that's apparently you were saying that's like a review of the book.
The book.
And yeah,
Yes.
okay, and maybe that works in the book. I feel like that's like the only thing that the movie took from the book, from what I can understand of the synopsis, because they made the dog
Yeah.
catchers like
They're-
they have like high leather boots and
Yes.
like a full Gestapo outfit for sure.
There's also an Anne Frank scene where they're waiting in the dark room as the Gestapo knocks on the door. That happens.
Oh god.
That
yeah.
definitely happens. It makes more sense given this context.
Does it?
It's awful. Like they took okay, so in the very best case scenario, the screenwriters for this took a book that is apparently an allegory for the Holocaust and made it into a fun white people rich person family film about orphans becoming family. Right? Very best case scenario, that's what happened.
Yeah, but who want to give me some protein?
Look, searching Twitter for a Hotel for Dogs is not a good idea, alright? It's not a good idea. I learned that.
That was better than anything in this movie.
Jesus.
I
Okay, so we watched Hotel for Dogs literally because of a meme image posted on Twitter, which is just, I am so going to open an Hotel for Dogs, which is like the, I'm going to make this a toxic whatever meme that's been going
Yes,
around where
the-
they just change the words.
yeah, what's her name from Glee?
Yeah, that's it. That's the only reason we watched this fucking
Well, that's the only reason you made me watch this film.
Yes, that's also the only joke I got. There are no jokes in this episode. Except,
And, okay, I need to clarify because last
Yeah.
time we also had no jokes in the episode, but that was because the movie was full of them. Accidentally, but it was still full of them.
Yes.
That's not the case in this movie. The reason why there's no jokes in this one is because I didn't write a note. I have a blank page.
You wrote nothing.
I wrote nothing.
Of
There was
course.
nothing noteworthy in this film. This film is like Beverly Hills Chihuahua again. It's hard to describe how boring and inconsequential everything in this movie is, and also yet like how at the same time it manages to make everything so fucking stupid.
It also doesn't make any sense. Nothing
Yes,
makes
like
sense. Things just happen. They don't set any of it up, though. It just happens. Things
Yes.
just happen.
It's like life. Things just
Yeah.
happen. It is a very scene by scene kind of movie where nothing really flows. There's no real reason for anything to happen. The characters are all unlikable. The dogs are cute. But like the stakes feel stupid. The setup is dumb. Like everything about it doesn't work. There's not a single thing in this movie that I feel like works.
I have a thought experiment for you. We're going to write a movie about a hotel for dogs because we are so going to open an hotel for dogs, right? That's the beginning of our script. We are starting a hotel for dogs.
Okay, what genre are we doing?
We're starting a hotel for dogs.
Because
That's as far as I got.
In
What
this
else we
hotel,
doing?
in this hotel, it's like a regular hotel for people,
Yeah.
but at a full moon.
Yeah, like a werewolf hotel. Yeah.
And it turns into a fucking horror movie because apparently the author of this book series, her claims to fame is that she also wrote "I Know What You Did Last Summer" and "Summer of Fear." She did like a whole bunch of horror horror books for like young adults, and Hotel for Dogs. I guess.
Fucking War Machine's here. Dr. Doolittle 4 is here. Yvette Brown from Community's here.
That's one of the things that bothers me the most about this movie is that it is chock full of actors that I generally like. It's not like a lot of big name actors. Like it's like young Neil from Scott Pilgrim. Like they're all like bit characters and TV show actors, but they're all in things that I enjoyed. They're all like enjoyable actors on their own, but they are given nothing to work with here. There's nothing. This is one of the most nothing movies I've seen. Here's the trope bullshit that this movie goes through. God, I wish that it was a werewolf hotel where it was just a slaughter fest. That's what we need to make a hotel for dogs.
A hotel for murder.
But the premise is we have two foster kids that are being little shits and selling phones that aren't phones. They're just rocks in a box.
They're stealing phone boxes, filling them with rocks, shrink wrapping them at a bathroom air dryer, and then reselling them on the street to people that like are doing illegal illicit drug deals and murders for like a 20.
Yeah.
And hoping they don't get caught. So, in what situation would you need to open up a literal hotel for dogs? Do they check themselves in? Or are they traveling?
I mean, this just sounds... What this sounds is like a kennel. Like, it sounds like a kennel.
It's just
you know
a
what
kennel.
It sounds like? That sounds like a kennel. Okay, this kid kind of fucking kicks ass.
Yeah, this kid's real smart. So
Okay, he did not wrap it that good, though.
No, that's still shrink wrapped.
That is, that's not his discount shrink wrap under the hairdryer, let me tell you. They're selling burner phones to the fucking...
Because this is what rich idiots think happens. Like,
yes. Well, they also think that those then drug dealers... Like, because, okay, who's buying a burner phone on the fucking street corner?
Someone who's gonna poison their husband and kill
Yeah,
him.
for like yeah, for $30, right? Like for
Yeah.
$30 you're buying a burner phone on a street corner in New York, and the person that bought the phone calls the fucking cops when it's a scam.
Yes.
Like, how? No.
No, you pull out a knife and you threaten those kids.
Yeah, I was gonna.
I know how this works.
That's what I said to you when this happened. I was like, okay. The thing is that they're making this sound like, ooh, these kids are gonna get in so much trouble because the cops are gonna come. And I'm thinking, oh, in real life, these kids are gonna get in so much trouble because someone's gonna chop them up into pieces and put them in the fucking river. Like, you're selling burner phones to fucking drug dealers that aren't burner phones. You can't do that. They'll fucking kill you. But not only that, they're also like selling these burner phones on like the corner of fucking Times Square. Like, they're not in some, like, fucked up, poor part of New York. They're, like, in Central Park and...
Yeah, they're, like, going to Central Park. They're going to Rockefeller Plaza. They're meeting their shady drug dealer in the middle of the street with cops everywhere. Like, hey, sell you this phone for $20.
It's like fucking Tourist Central in New York where it's, like...
Dumbasses.
It's the stupid... Well, like, every single part of it doesn't work. These kids wouldn't be able to, like, shrink wrap these phones. Although, that honestly, that was kind of clever. I was okay with it. Like, I can suspend my disbelief there. But then it's like, they're just... Some guy, random guy is buying it, but then he calls the cops when he gets scammed for this fucking phone. And they're selling it in, like, the most upscale parts of New York for, like... $20, like as if these people don't think, like, fall off a truck fucking phones in the middle of like the tourist areas, and like, fuck you. It's just the stupidest setup. And then like the guy's calling the cops afterwards when he gets scammed, because that's what you do when you're buying a drug burner phone, is if you get scammed you phone the cops.
It's okay that they went to the rich part of New York to sell it, because they live in an even richer part of New York.
They do. They're these kids that are supposedly so... Like, the setup is that they're these orphans that are, like, oh, they're such juvenile delinquents. And, like, okay, so when they get the $25, they go out and they buy food, and then they give it to, like, this stray dog that they have that's tied up with rope that they have outside of a store, and it doesn't have like a real collar in a way, and it's like they've got like this rope leash for it, so it's supposed to be like, oh, they're really poor, but they're wearing like really nice clothes, and they've got these really nice new backpacks, and they start feeding this dog the food, and you're like, oh, okay, like I guess they needed to do this to make food. Are they like homeless or something? No, Don Cheadle picks them up when they get caught by the cops because he's their social worker, and he takes them back to the Tony Stark's swanky
cave.
Yeah, he takes them to their upscale like foster parents' house that's an penthouse apartment in New York kind of thing.
It's like,
I mean, not penthouse, but
no, it's like easily $10,000 a month rent.
Yes,
like,
yeah. They've got this huge apartment in New York with like all these art pieces on the walls and all this shit, and it's
hundreds of guitars, like
they've got like all this music and stuff, and they're supposedly like they never explain what these parents do. They make really bad rock music and they want to be rock musicians, but it never shows them doing any other job. They're apparently rock musicians and foster parents, but they've got nothing else.
Well, they inherited all their money from their rich uncle, so they don't have to.
I guess
they don't have to work for a living.
It doesn't explicitly say any of this though. Like, it's just they're just there.
They're skimming the cream dogs.
They've been skimming the cream dogs. Watch our last episode; it's so much better.
That's the only way.
But if they were just skimming all the cream dogs, the movie doesn't care about the foster parents though, because
it doesn't give a shit.
45 minutes of the film after this, they don't show up again.
No, and also there's.
Like,
the movie also doesn't care about the dog, because they don't set up why they need to... Okay, the kids get sent back to their room after they go back, and then the dog, named Friday, which they keep making Friday jokes, because Rebecca Black's Friday got popular around this time.
Friday. We go Friday.
Friday! What?
I said, Bruce, what is the day after Thursday? Friday.
No, they're doing the Rebecca Black thing.
Fine, get weird on me.
Gotta get down on Friday.
That's it. Yeah, it's the only thing that makes sense. The book is here's the synopsis for the book. Like, they only took the title. This was just so that they could get this movie made. It's simply so they have name recognition. They're like, okay, what's a book that has a similar name by someone that's like, I don't know, kind of sort of famous, maybe, I guess, so that we can just slap a name on it and make the movie. Because the plot of the book is Andrea Walker is a girl who was forced to temporarily move to her animal allergic great aunt Alice's house. So she's not like a foster kid. She's not an orphan, anything like that. Leaving her dog Baby in the care of another family. Shortly after the move, she finds a stranded dog and wishes to keep her. Andy's mom vetoes this idea, so along with her older brother Bruce, she keeps the dog, who she names Friday, and her pups in an abandoned house across the street. After a while, Andy and Bruce allow more dogs, including Red Rover and a Irish settler that ran away from his abusive owner. Blah, blah. In the end, their expenses overwhelm them, and they're discovered by their father, mother, and Jared's wickedness to be discovered by their ignorant father, etc. Like, okay, like, it's not New York. It's a small abandoned house. It's like, they're not orphans. They're not doing any, like, weird crime stuff. Like, everything's different. Everything about that is different.
I don't know what the fuck they were doing.
What they were
None
doing...
of it makes sense.
Here, I can tell you exactly what it is. It makes perfect sense, Boykes, and you know that it makes perfect sense. What it was is they found a book that had cute dogs on the cover, and they said that this was an adaptation, and they put a bunch of cute dogs in it, and they sold it to gullible fuckers to try and make a bunch of money, which they did, because they made $150 million on it, and they just shoveled it out the door with absolutely no thought or care, because they didn't give a shit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a bunch of loosely connected garbage scenes with a few dogs in between to try and hold your attention, and they were just hoping that they could put a bunch of cute dogs on the cover and in the trailer. They have enough scenes of cute dogs to put in a trailer together, and then they go, all right, that's a wrap, let's make our money.
So these poor orphans, who are also Disney Imagineer inventors, go to Kinko's and print off a bunch of sheets because their dog ran away and got caught by the pound, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is where they meet Dr. Dolittle 4 actress, as well as Cute Boy, who works at Pet Shop, who's also Pound Shop, who's also Lost and Found Shop. Whatever. Nothing makes any fucking sense.
This pet... Yeah, he apparently is the pet store manager, but he's, like, 19.
Yeah, whatever.
And if you're, like, the pet store manager for a pet store chain, you don't just get to do whatever the fuck you want and throw all the money around, like...
Yeah, so they get their dog back, and then completely unrelated to anything, they witness a crime at a building next to this abandoned hotel, and the cops immediately show up because of the alarm, and they're like, oh shit, we need to hide, we just witnessed a crime.
Yeah, that response time by the police, fucking impressive, let me tell you. 10 seconds. So, they're in front of the building, they see people running away, and then the cops are like, hey, you kids, stop. And it's like,
what?
Why are you running? You don't have any of the stolen goods. You don't have any bricks. Like, there's other people in the background of the shot. And so it's like, why are the cops choosing these kids in particular to chase? Whatever, doesn't matter.
But the magic sign of the hotel for dogs turns on.
The magic sign.
There's just a magic sign that's like, hey kids, maybe go into the hotel so we can make a movie about a hotel for dogs.
The hotel for dogs.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh god, is it a magical hotel for dogs?
I am so gonna open up and magical hotel for dogs. So it turns
they
on,
make it a literal hotel in this. Like, it feels like somebody, like the director and the writer of this screenplay saw the book, look at the cover, opened it, flipped through, like, went zzz, and went, yeah, all right, I'll just put a bunch of dogs in a movie and throw them in a hotel. It's fine. That's the same thing.
But, like, okay, so the hotel sign turns on, they go in the building as the cops are looking for them, and then the light turns off. So it is a magic sign.
Yes.
It is 100% a magic sign. And then they go into the horror murder hotel from The Shining, the remake, not the original. And a bunch of horror shit happens, but it's okay. It's just the Halloween Hound.
It's just a dog because they're in this hotel
There's a hotel
for dogs.
for That's as far as they got with the writing. Was hotels for dogs?
Yes, there's no writing in this movie besides, well, okay, we'll have a hotel and it's for dogs. So yeah, there's all these spooky noises and stuff. They discover that it's dogs. And then they have a really, really cute scene where all the dogs lie in a cuddle puddle because they
That
meet
was
each other
cute.
and they like each other, I guess. I'm starting to think this just sucks.
Oh no, this is terrible. It makes no fucking sense. Oh, okay, that's really cute though. They're really cute though. Oh, the pile.
What about just, leaving Friday with them tonight?
Okay. See, I hate this, but this is also really cute.
One night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid as fuck, but also cute puppy.
Yeah, it's a really cute puppy.
And then they go, all right, well, instead of, they were having a big conversation about, like, we need to give this dog a better home because we're hiding it and letting it live on the street, which, yes, that sounds about right. And then they go, well, actually, what if we left it in this abandoned building instead? That's better.
I actually realized two of the main themes of this movie just now. Negligence for your animals, which keeps happening.
Well, for kids, too, because
And for kids.
I think there's negligence in general because the
Negligence
parents
in
are also
general.
negligent.
And the second main theme of this movie is gaslighting.
Yes.
That happens multiple times, where characters gaslight each other. And it's fine because there's no repercussions in the film for it.
Oh, there's nothing. There's no
'Cause-
repercussions.
'cause,
There's
like,
no
the-
morals. There's no nothing.
One of the orphans, God, what's her name? I don't remember the character. It's whatever. But
I don't know them.
she goes back to the pet store / lost and found animal location and talks to Scott Pilgrim person.
Young Neil. It's
Young Neil.
Young Neil from Scott Pilgrim.
And she's buying a bunch of dog food for these dogs in their hotel for dogs. And he's like, oh, wow, that's like for a 40-pound dog. Your dog's like a little small, scruffy Jack Russell or something, right? So, like, that's way too much food for a small dog like that. Oh, that's because we have other dogs, but they're strays, but my parents like strays, and I'm gaslighting the shit out of you right now.
Yeah, see, okay, yeah. Listen,
Yeah.
we've got a big bag where we're buying a big
Yeah.
bag because I'm opening an hotel for dogs.
And hotel for dogs. So, like,
I'm so gonna open an hotel for dogs.
so he's
she
like,
says.
oh, well, I have these strays that I found that we've been taking care of. We can bring them to your place. Okay.
They just have a dozen fucking strays in the back of this pet shop.
Right. Yeah, and he gets in his Dumb
Why?
and Dumber dog car. Literal Dumb and Dumber, like,
The big dog van.
the big
It's a
dog,
van.
shaggy van. And drives them to their hotel for dogs. And he's like, hey, this is like an abandoned building. Are you allowed to be here? No. Let's go in.
Yeah, and then he just goes, oh yeah, all right, sounds good. I guess we'll just go in. Sure, whatever. I was like, what? Nope,
Okay. And
Oh.
then Dr. Dolittle 4 followed him there. And she's like, I followed you here. Oh no. But that's okay, because I want to help. Okay.
God, there's just no.
That's like two people that showed
consequences.
up. Yeah. And then there's also a kid that saw them walk in. He's like, hey, I saw what you did here. Oh no. But it's okay. I want to be misogynistic.
Oh God, yeah. This kid's like, so I came over here because I saw you got 2 women and you can't have them both. So which one do you own?
He did say he would fuck up the fuzz for them, though.
That was the good thing.
That was the only good
Sure.
thing he said in this whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so they get the hotel for dogs. They take dogs in that they literally can't afford to feed or house into this abandoned building.
Well, but
Right?
none of that's ever addressed. They just have enough money for all these They do like a massive
Right.
cleanup of this whole hotel, top to bottom, like this massive, like 20-story building.
Yeah.
They fix the whole thing up. No one notices. They have 30, 50 dogs. No, they've got to have like 50 some dogs in here, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Their contractors were
50.
very discreet.
Yeah, they've got like 50 some dogs in this hotel.
Yeah.
They've got massive machines to like they have the dogs shitting in toilets and then the conveyor belt like
Yeah, okay.
brings
So
the poop outside.
so the younger kid is the inventor kid. That's his quirk, that he invents things by combining things together to make like Rube Goldberg machines and breakfast machines. And one of the extended scenes is his dog shitting apparatus.
It's a really long extended scene, and
And they
there's
do another extended scene about his dog pissing apparatus.
yeah, they have the dog pissing machine is actually I almost want to talk about for a second because they set up a pedal where they put treats on the floor. The dog presses the pedal, and then it opens gigantic curtains on the one side of the room. Spotlights come on. The spotlights light up a giant golden fire hydrant in the middle of a fountain. And then the dogs run over and pee on the hydrant thing. And then as they walk off, there's like another pad. And that makes it so that a shower head comes out and sprays it all off. And then the lights turn off and the curtains close.
Yeah.
There's like a giant stage for these dogs to piss on. Just have them pee outside.
Well, that would require them to actually take care of them. God, there's a lot of pee in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's also the trough with toilet seats for all the dogs to poop on.
Yeah, and they do like this.
Yeah, no, it is
tiled bathroom with like a huge curtain, and it's like this golden fire hydrant, and then it's like, okay, where are they shitting? And it's like, I don't know, we have this old rotten wooden board and some like busted ass toilet seats. Let's have them do that.
They set up a conveyor belt with a fucking like slide, a children's like tube slide that goes into a like a laundry garbage chute thing outside. Like
no one in New York notices this hotel has like a children's slide out the back with shit coming out of it every day.
Shit pouring out. No, this isn't like a small amount. It filled that entire fucking thing in like a day. Like
as I'm talking about this, I've been in New York. Honestly, you would not notice the smell.
I don't think you would
an
notice.
entire dumpster full of shit. Like the more that I think about this, I'm like, okay, actually, maybe that wouldn't be a huge thing.
Yeah.
But, like, did you notice the slide though, or something? Like they install a giant slide and conveyor belt and stuff in this hotel for dogs, and nobody's noticing any of this.
Okay, so at this point.
Also, like, don't these kids go to school or have jobs or something? Like, she's like 16, 17, and
it's summer vacation. They have nothing better to do. It's fine. But okay,
so 45 minutes of the film.
There are 5 teens. I'm gonna put that in big air quotes. Teens. Some of them are definitely adults.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, young.
Mostly Dr. Dolittle is definitely an adult in this movie.
Yes, she's also older.
But yeah, but there are 5 teens taking care of like 7 dogs in this abandoned hotel. It's at least manageable, right? Like it's a reasonable situation. You could think 5 people could take care of an amount of dogs. Of 7.
Like when they originally had like 7 or 8, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe the other people that have joined in are putting funds in that these kids that were literally scamming people for $20 can afford, right? So there's something about the scale that's reasonable.
When it's 8,
when it's like 7 or 8, then they decide they're going to steal every dog on the street and bring them to their hotel. Just
Yes.
take every dog they find that doesn't have a collar or isn't on a leash.
Correct.
Some of those dogs are probably owned by people, by the way.
Yeah. They do animal control's job. So every time
Yes.
that animal control is supposed, they have a big montage of animal control going around trying to get dogs.
They
And
do a
like,
heist.
Yes, they like
Yes.
heist them out of the back of the animal control van. They like steal them out from in front of them. They do all kinds of weird stuff to just steal all these dogs. And they end up with like 50 to 100 dogs in this hotel.
To the theme of Kill Bill. Yes.
Oh god, yeah. Bah, bah, bah.
No. Fuck you. You can't do the Kill Bill. Fuck you!
Yes, they did. Okay, like
What?
they have them walking towards the camera doing the Kill Bill like theme and cuts and
They're stealing people's animals. If you see a stray, it's not necessarily a stray.
it's not necessarily like it didn't just drop there from fucking heaven. Like
They didn't even try to find the owners.
no,
They're just like, these are our dogs now, and then they take them to their end hotel for dogs.
To be fair, they're doing this because I guess in this universe, animal control officers are literally the Gestapo. If there was one thing, like I said, there's one thing that they took from the book of it maybe being a Holocaust allegory, which I don't know, maybe the book is. These animal control officers have like long leather gloves and black suits with high collars and like big leather thigh-high boots.
They look like the Imperial Army from Star Wars.
That's so weird. They're like
Yeah.
these,
Like an Imperial officer,
like
yeah.
why do they have like all these leather Gestapo boots and shit?
Yeah.
It's super weird. They look like
Yeah.
garbage, by the way. Their costumes look like shit. They look
Well, they
terrible.
were also really excited to kill those dogs. Like,
Yes,
it's
yeah.
bad. It's bad.
They're
like,
5 seconds away from going, "We must kill the dogs!" Like
Yes!
they're very they're
I
cartoon villains, but like
I swear, when I picked a hotel for dogs, it was because of the joke. I didn't know it would go back here again. Like, how does this keep happening?
Holocaust last week, you're right.
How does this keep happening? I
I
didn't
don't
even
know.
I
I don't know, but it's not even done. Like they're not.
No.
I wish they had done the goofy thing. Like if they had made them goofy enough to be like, "Oh yes, we must kill all the dogs," and done them really weird, that'd have been something. But they don't go that far. Like there's nothing nearly that interesting that happens. It is done.
Yeah.
They're wearing like big Gestapo boots and gloves, but there's not an appropriate level of energy to match that, and the costumes are really cheap garbage. Like they look like trash.
Yeah.
They're weird. It just looks stupid, and it has no energy. It's not interesting. Like I'm making this sound somewhat interesting. It's not. It's the laziest way to do this.
So the kids get a grant from a local college and use all that money to build a bunch of attraction rides with their Imagineering
Yes.
degree,
Where did they get
and
that?
they
Yeah.
and they build
Yeah.
a car ride simulator.
That's a joke, by the way. They do not show any means of them getting funds for all this. Yes, they have a car ride simulator.
They also build sheep mobiles on RC cars that the dogs can herd around, which they use later as a horror sheep, of course.
Yeah.
A dog vending machine.
That was kind of cool.
Doors that kick themselves so that the dogs can be like someone's at the door and run between door to door.
Yeah, was that what that was?
I
I didn't
think-
get that.
It's
They would run over,
essentially-
they would step on a pad, and a door would have like either a knock or
Yeah.
a kick, and then the dogs
But-
run to another pad and do it.
What's weird is they didn't make N Hotel for dogs. They made N Theme Park for dogs. It's different.
Yeah.
They didn't make a hotel. There's no rooms for them to stay in. There's no room service. There's no pool. It's not a hotel. It's a fucking theme park.
Yeah,
There's a breakfast machine that does the entire Pee-wee's Big Adventure scene of bowls and food moving along conveyors and like Rube Goldberg machine. None of it makes any fucking sense. I hate it.
And like I said, this whole section of the movie is like 45 minutes to an hour of the movie, and it's just these totally disjointed, unconnected scenes of them having weird breakfast machines to do regular tasks and...
for no reason.
No.
Well, if you think about it, they're trying to automate the N Hotel for dogs so that they don't need to do anything to take care of these dogs. That way they can go do whatever the fuck all they were doing before N Hotel for dogs. I guess steal more stuff and scam people. I don't know what their plan is.
I guess. It also really bothered me. There's so many... Like I said, there's not plot holes in this movie. There's plot ravines. It's hard to talk about what's going on in this movie because nothing makes any sense and it's so far removed from any reality that, like, to discuss why there's a plot hole, you need to go through like 12 layers of why it's wrong. Like, hey, they're in a really upscale Manhattan apartment. Why are their foster parents there? Why are they in a hotel that's abandoned? Why is there an abandoned hotel in like this swanky upscale part of New York? Why is it in such good condition they can turn it into this super nice hotel? Why is that, like, why does nobody notice that any of this is happening? How are they paying for any of this? Like, there's a billion different little problems that, yeah, I know that it should be suspension of disbelief, but they do so little to suspend any of it. It just sucks. And, like, one of the things that really bothered me is when they set up the kid as the inventor, they have one scene for it. And it's that he, like, makes a trebuchet for them to play fetch. And it hits the pet manager guy in the face, young Neil. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, oh, like, why are you doing this? And he's like, oh, because my dad taught me how to do this. They don't explain, like, who their parents were. There's no scenes of them. I don't even think they have a photo in this movie of who the parents were that the kids stare longingly at some point.
There's one photo with the parents, and we're assuming that they're dead.
There's nothing explaining any of this.
There's nothing to say that his dad was an inventor. Yeah.
No. Well, and then he goes, oh, well, I did it because my dad taught me how to be like this. And it's like, okay, well, was their dad an engineer? Like, there's nothing that, like, gives character to these people. And anyways, so he's, like, 11. Canonically in this movie, they say he's 11 years old. And they're like, oh, it's his final chance in the foster system because he's been in so long and they keep causing so many problems. So it's like, okay, like, at least 5 years then, right? You would think, like, minimum. So it's, was this kid getting taught trebuchets at 6 and 5? Like, it just doesn't, none of it fucking works. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. The whole thing.
It's a real slapdash job. Like,
it just, they're like, oh, well, like, why would they be here? I don't know. I guess they're orphans. Like it has that feel to it. Like, it feels like somebody sat down in a pitch meeting for 5 minutes to do every fucking plot point in this movie. Like, this is a script you could fucking hack out in a week. It's goddamn awful. Anyway, so all of that happens. It takes like an hour. And then finally the parents come back into the scene again because there's the party/parents scene, which conveniently happens at the same time so that every single person is gone from N Hotel for Dogs.
Because they want to remove the people from the N Hotel for Dogs, which they've automated to be an automated hotel for dogs, so that humans don't need to interact with them anymore, and the dogs can just live in a perfect dog society.
I guess.
So, so the parents take the inventor kid and hold him hostage in their kitchen while they're calling somebody for some reason.
Because they found a hairdryer in his backpack.
Tell on him to the Don Cheadle, I guess. I don't know where this is going. And
literally, the reason for this is that they found a hairdryer in his backpack. I want to make that clear. They found a hairdryer in his backpack, and they're like, you must be stealing. And so they sit him down for like 3 hours and interrogate him under a hot lamp. Like,
But, and then the sister goes to the party, which is in a penthouse suite, rich people's wine, like, mixer.
Yes!
And all she does at the party is gaslight her friend, the owner of the pet store, about how she's not an orphan. And how they're all fucking crazy, including her neighbor who knows who she is.
I just realized how awful this is. So that dude's, like, pet shop owner, right? And he's 22 when this movie was shot. she's supposed to be 16 in this.
Supposed
And
to
that's
be,
like
yes.
a big romantic plot between them, right?
It
Like that's
sure
kind of
is. Yep. Yeah, there's some.
I never
there's
really,
some-
I never got all the dots there before, but now that I'm,
there's some gross themes in this movie. So
God, this movie fucking
as
sucks.
they're gone, all of the machines break at once, and the dogs go fucking primal because society is crumbled around them.
Instant Lord of the Flies.
and
5
they
seconds later.
start painting their face with like clown makeup, making gas bombs and shit.
Okay,
like-
I do need a moment to say that you go like, we live in a society. And as you said that, they had a big chase scene and dumped paint on a bunch of the dogs, and they became blue, red, and yellow, and like Joker fucking makeup. And I'm like, God damn it, it is.
We live in a society.
And then one of the dogs goes,
Joker,
"I'm the
I-
Joker, baby." Yeah, and you're like, "Oh shit."
Oh, I'm making it sound good again. It's not good. It's very dumb. It's done in a... Again, like, it's also lowest energy, lowest state kind of thing is why.
Yeah.
But they never take anything far enough for it to be goofy and fun. So everything breaks at the same time. Like, this is such a it's such a convenient
It just happens
contrivance,
because
like,
it needs to happen. Yeah.
yeah, it's such a coincidence thing where it's like, okay, every machine happens to break in the hotel at the same time that all of the kids are out for pure contrivances where it's like she's stuck at this party and he's with the parents and
Yeah.
they're all at the party together, and the Mark guy who's the weird chauvinist that's only there to take one of the women
Ugh.
who are property.
Ugh.
God, it sucks. Is just gone. They don't even dress him. He's just
Yeah,
I
and
don't
Dr.
know.
Doolittle's gone. Like,
Yeah, she's not at the party either.
no
I
one's
don't
there.
think.
Yeah, just no one's there.
Yeah, it's pure plot contrivance. So all that's happening. The kid that was in the chair, the parents look away, and so then he gets up and walks out, and they don't notice him because
No,
I
they
don't know,
notice him. Yeah.
well, but
They
like,
don't notice him when he's sneaking out.
They notice him once he's gone. That's
Yeah,
what
they
I'm saying.
hear
Like,
they hear
look
him
over-
slam the door, is what they do.
Yeah, I get, but like, he's 2 feet away from them. Is my
Yeah.
point. It's fucking stupid. It's just so that they can have like Lisa Kudrow and oh god, I can't remember the other guy's name. Anyways, they can have them run into the building
Yeah,
and
that's it.
do the extremely obvious thing that we both called the minute they show that there was a chute down into a poop slide.
Yeah, they're gonna
Oh, look,
they're gonna
we're gonna
slide
dump them in
them
the poop.
into the garbage full of dog shit. Of course.
Obviously, like it,
And they
yeah.
never show up again until the end. So like up until that last scene, we're just assuming they drowned in shit and died.
Yes, yeah, they're never seen again. They chase the kid into this hotel for dogs. They fall onto the conveyor belt, fall into the dog shit, and then you go, and then she's like, "Oh my god, where are we?" And he goes, "We're in deep doo doo." And then they cut it, and then they don't show up until the post-credit scenes. That's it. That's
Yep.
the end of them.
So they get
Who
arrested.
gives a shit? We didn't have any reason for them to be in the movie anyway.
Yeah. So they get arrested by the cops, who also take all of the hundreds of dogs in their hotels for dogs. And then they decide to break up the orphans because fuck them, I guess.
Because they committed a bunch of crimes.
Yeah, and
I
they
guess
stole
that's
animals,
pretty
and they
legit.
stole money, and they stole stuff from their foster parents. And they're kind of just little shits. And they gaslight all their
guess.
friends.
Yeah.
Great, yeah, they're really good people. And they also take their dog, Friday, and they put all the other dogs into the pound,
Mm-hmm.
full of the murder police. And then Friday escapes and like gets them all back together because it's all about family.
Yeah, the dog
I
shakes its
guess.
collar off and runs to the one girl, so she decides to break
Yeah.
out and find the boy, which
Because they do a
why
big
wouldn't they have-
heist, right?
why wouldn't they have
So-
done that if the dog wasn't there? Oh god, and yes, and then so then pet store owner shows up because he also saw the dog and decided to find them all. I don't know.
Whatever.
And it doesn't make any sense in the movie, so why should it make sense when we're talking about it? And he goes, "We need to. All right, here we go. Here's like the county line, and we can go to the pound and do all this
Mhm,
stuff, and then we can go across county lines." And then they don't do that.
They don't even do the plan.
They don't do the plan. And it's not like somebody goes, oh my God, we have to deviate from the plan, that there's a problem. None of that happens. There's nothing like that. They just do a different plan for no reason.
They go to animal control. They break in where Dr. Doolittle's like, hey, there's a fire, and like tricks the guy into leaving. But then immediately reveals that it's a heist attempt and that she's in on it. And then she just thinks nothing's going to happen and just stands there. And guess what?
Nothing does.
Nothing happens, and she just stands
She just
there.
gets to walk away. The guy that she
Look at
locks
her.
out of the building, that she like tricks and locks out of the building so they can steal all the dogs, is standing next to her, and he goes, "You're in trouble." And then the next scene is her just walking away, talking to other people that are involved in the heist and doing more heist stuff. And it's like,
Yeah. And then, so they heist all the dogs out. They lock up the animal control folks, and one animal control folks finally addresses the Dr. Doolittle 4 problem and tries to arrest her. But don't worry, creepy kid that has the hots for her and thinks she's property is gonna sacrifice himself. And to be fair, she's like, yeah, all right.
I kind of love this
Fuck
part.
you, I guess.
Yeah, he kicks
Yeah.
the guy in the nuts, drops
Yeah.
him to the ground. They all run away, and they're having the dogs chase after their
Yeah.
pet food van because they like stick sausages on the back
Whatever.
of it. I guess.
But it's like
But-
a huge interruptive dog parade through like
Mhm.
the most awful traffic known to man.
Yes, in New York City, in the middle of the day. In any case, though, I just really quickly I want to address though that
Yeah.
so what's great is he kicks the guy in the nuts, drops him, and then they start driving away, and he's standing right there. He's 5 feet away, and she goes, "Mark, I just want to say thank you, bye." And then they just
Oh,
drive
Mark,
off and leave
bye.
him there. And I kind of love that because it's just like just abandon the dude to get fucking all right.
Fuck him,
First
yeah.
you name him, even though he just committed a crime.
Yeah.
He just committed a felony by
It's like,
assaulting an officer.
Mark,
and then
who
she
lives
just
on
names
First
him and
Avenue.
leaves him.
Yeah, Mark, who lives on First Avenue, whose phone number is like Jesus Christ,
Thank
lady.
you so much for helping me by assaulting that guy.
Yeah.
See you later. Yeah, so then they drive all these dogs into traffic where they get
Yes.
hit by cars.
But we're thinking, okay, so the ones that didn't get hit by cars, we're thinking that they're going to take them to the county line and like break them to freedom, which I guess could be an allegory for like taking them to another country or something like that. It
guess.
doesn't really
It
make
makes-
any fucking sense. But they
No.
don't even do that. They just go back to the N Hotel for Dogs.
Yes. Well, and also, like, I just want to really quickly, you're saying you're assuming that, like, oh, it's an allegory for them, like, crossing a country line or something, like, getting them to Canada where they can't be extradited or something. But they don't even explain any of that. The line when he says, like, here's our plan, this is the county line, we can go across that. That's all he says.
Yeah.
He doesn't say then they can't get the dogs. He doesn't, like, there's no explanation, there's no thought process behind why that matters. There's just, you just have to assume, you just have to, like, make all the plot points yourself. Fuck this. I'm so mad at this movie.
So anyway, the entire fucking town shows up to this hotel, including the animal control, the police, everybody that happened to be on the street watching these dogs run by, reporters, I guess.
I guess.
And they all show up in the entryway of the hotel, and they're all fighting over, like, hey, we're gonna go murder these dogs. Don't worry about it. They're a menace. And Don Cheadle walks out, and he's like, hey, these dogs got names, baby.
Yeah.
They named them. You can't take them.
Got
him.
That's absolutely 100% Don Cheadle's logic in this. Is just
Fucking
he goes,
got him.
Well, but they named all the dogs. How,
Yeah,
how can
they
you take
own those
dogs if they
dogs.
named them?
Yeah.
Remember, as at Steven Roderick said on Twitter, like he said in the beginning, I've
Yeah.
always respected Don Cheadle, but then I saw his closing monologue in Hotel for Dogs. Wow, such admiration. He doesn't do shit. It's the
No, he
fucking
doesn't do shit.
stupidest bullshit.
Listen, can you just hear me out before you throw these kids in jail and destroy all these innocent dogs?
No.
I hate this.
I see no reason why we can't.
Wait, are you
I'm responsible for these kids.
Ah,
What they did.
I'm like, I'm.
But I gotta
Yeah,
tell you, I wish I had
go
all
Oh,
the they did.
God, it's the Yeah, that's what the cops are
I've
like.
been trying to place
Yeah,
kids
go
in
on,
good
yeah,
homes for 15
Go
years.
on. No, they would have
Jesus,
someone
fuck
arrest that guy.
off.
They would have
Successful.
bashed his head in
These
and
kids,
knocked him
they
down
didn't
the
make
stairs.
excuses.
They don't understand.
They didn't get frustrated with the system.
Like the
and give up.
fucking
They just went out and did it.
cameras
They
are
saved
allowed in this
everybody.
fucking hotel for dogs. Like,
You
they've
know
got
what?
crowds of people and
Yeah.
cameras inside. Uh-huh.
You know what these kids did? They opened up an hotel for dogs. Look, right here, you can see them checked in.
Madison. Madison.
Oh no, they're gonna introduce each dog one by one.
Madison. August 3rd. Found hiding in the
Oh, why
backyard
would
after
random
the family
people on the
moved away
street
and
even
left her behind.
care?
Viola and
In New
Sebastian,
York.
They would have been like, "Hey, I'm fucking walking."
Right?
together
Yeah.
since they were puppies. Viola got snagged on
Like-
the fence, but Sebastian refused to leave his sister behind.
This is some fucking
Chelsea.
like Sorkin
Chelsea
writing
lost her
of
leg
like
in an accident.
everybody sits down and
Owner
listens
didn't
to the
pay
big
bill and
speech,
abandoned her
like
at the vet. Coco
fucking Aaron Sorkin
Rocky.
West Wing style.
and Harley
All you have to do is have a good enough speech and everybody listens to
found
you.
living together in the woods near a dump.
Fuck off.
And there's many more.
They all come together with the spirit of friendship and family. Because it ends with Don Cheadle and his wife adopting the two little shits.
Which, why wouldn't he have done that before then?
I don't know.
Also, God, Don Cheadle. This is what I mean about nothing makes sense in this movie. The Don Cheadle adopts them. Earlier, we saw Don Cheadle going home to his wife, who he's talking about as like an elementary school teacher.
Yes.
And
who
he's
probably doesn't
a-
make much money.
And he's a social worker.
Yeah.
They're living in New York. They have a fucking 2-story goddamn house
Yes.
in New York
In
City
downtown, yeah.
on a fucking social worker and elementary school teacher salary. Fuck that. And then like when Don Cheadle does his big thing, he's like, "Oh, I'm a social services worker," and holds up a goddamn police
Yeah.
badge. And then everybody stops and listens to him as he's backlit by sunlight. He's like a fucking Aaron Sorkin goddamn speech from like West Wing. Doing like this alternate reality where everybody
Like-
sits down and is like, "Oh, let us listen to the man as he makes his cool speech." And the cops, then the reporter is like, "Okay, can we go into this condemned abandoned building that's owned by somebody else because he made good speech?" And the cop goes, "I don't know, I guess." And then all the people
guess.
run past them and see
Like-
all the cool hotel for dogs shit. So obviously that means that everything's resolved, right? That's the way cops do stuff. Cops just let you
So-
into abandoned buildings if you ask nice because reasons.
A hotel for dogs is a metaphor. It's supposed to be about, like, in the film, it's supposed to be about creating your own family and all this mumbo jumbo bullshit, right? That's what they're trying to
it?
tell you at the end. But
Is it?
it's also just a literal hotel for dogs. They couldn't even keep that straight.
I don't think they actually had an allegory for anything. I think that they just were like, well, it's got to be an hotel for dogs.
Because it ends
the
on it
ending
being
also
a literal
is-
hotel, yes.
Yes. The ending is they make like spa rooms and like
They get
room
millions
rooms
and
that the
millions
dogs just
and millions.
sleep in and
Yeah.
stuff, and the city pays for it.
Because
They say, and it's like this multi-million-dollar like super nice marble hotel with like fountains and shit.
these
and-
kids wound up being CEOs of hotel for dog industries. Like, what the
What does
fuck?
that do? What does that even mean?
I
What does
don't
that
know.
even mean?
Are they gonna have stock options? What is this even fucking? What
But they have the
happened?
really romantic kiss between 23-year-old pet store manager and
Ugh.
16-year-old teenage. What the
Ugh.
fuck is that? I just realized like
Ugh.
that's so
Ugh.
fucked.
Fucking this movie sucked ass.
This movie, I wanted to say I hated
Ugh.
this about as much as Beverly Hills Chihuahua 2 because it feels like it's got like a lot of the same
Yeah,
stupid like rich
I'm not
people
like
that don't
mad
understand
at
poor
it though
people.
that way.
No, I know.
yeah.
I'm like, but I'm saying like that's my point. Is I was gonna say
Yeah.
I want to feel like I'm as mad at it like that because it feels as clueless. But the thing is that they had even less idea of what they wanted to do with it, so there's no point in it. So I can't even be mad because there's just nothing. There's nothing to be mad at even. Like I can't even be really angry at this film because there's so little film here to be mad at.
Yeah, I have a question for you. When do you think they're gonna finish the trilogy?
Whew, boy, yeah, because there are actually
No,
there
no,
are
no.
two
I'm
more
not talking
books.
about. I'm not talking about the book sequels. There's okay. So Don Cheadle was in Hotel for Dogs in 2009, and Don Cheadle was in Hotel Rwanda in 2004.
Oh Jesus Christ, Boykes! Whoa!
So when are they gonna finish the
Listen,
hotel?
okay, the movies keep on bringing up holocausts. That doesn't mean that you need to.
It's Don Cheadle. What? He did it. He's in both.
God.
They have to finish the hotel trilogy.
Oh.
Fucking Christ.
Let's rate the dogs. We have Friday, the Jack Russell Terrier. Friday does a lot of very cool, like, trick stuff, actually. If there is one thing I can give this movie, I'm going to give it two things. They have A, lots of dog scenes.
Correct.
B, the dogs do, like, lots of tricks and don't talk.
They don't talk. That's so good.
Oh God, we didn't mention one of the biggest crimes of this film, though.
No pets.
No. First of all, there are no pets in this movie for whatever reason. Because the dogs just do all their own things with the machines.
Yeah.
The kids make machines and then the dogs do the stuff themselves. They don't play with the dogs or treat the dogs nice. The dogs just do their own thing. But not only that, they had doggo vision. They did have the doggo vision scenes.
It was like nauseating.
Yes, they do it like with a weird fisheye lens and a whole bunch of motion blur, and they color the food that the dog's sniffing, but nothing else, and it's really queasy. It sucks. They do that for like only 2 scenes for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It was the intro when they're doing like the intro credits. I don't know why they didn't really show up again, but they did bring back Hot Dog Guy from the intro so that we could end his deep story of getting completely demolished by dogs stealing his hot dog twice.
My whole life ruined by dogs.
My whole life of just eating a hot dog ruined by dogs.
Friday's great. I like
Friday's a good dog.
Friday's a good dog.
Really cute. Cuddles up with other dogs. Very cute. Like a 12 out of 10. Knows how to use a pulley system out of 10.
Yeah, they have like a lot of when the dogs aren't doing poop and shit, like shit and piss machines.
Yes.
And with like lots of loud shitting noises, let me just tell you. Yeah, Boykes is rolling his eyes really hard at that. But like I'm right.
Yeah,
You're shaking your head and rolling your eyes. But like they had I still remember the subtitle of loud plopping sounds, which was a subtitle they put in this movie.
Yeah, I know.
So yes, there's that. There's a lot of extended shit scenes, but when they're not doing that, the dogs are kind of cute interacting with machines. So that's good. If you fast forward through every other part of the movie and just see like a couple of scenes of dogs cuddling, it could make a very solid 3-minute YouTube highlight reel.
Yes.
I think that's exactly the point of this movie too. Is they were like, okay, the trailer is going to need to be 1.5 minutes long, so we need to have at least double that worth of cute dogs, so that we have some selection to pick from, so we can make the trailer, and then we can trick people into going to this movie, right?
Yeah, sure.
There you go.
It made
Hotel for Dogs.
It made like $150 million. Mission success.
We need to make a movie like this because, like,
we could make
goddamn,
so much money. Holy shit! Did you ever think about how much money we could make?
I did. I have thought about it. I would like to make $150 million making this shit.
Yup.
Like, I can't blame the filmmakers. They made fucking bank on this. They made tons of money, and it is unbelievable garbage, start to finish. It sucks. Thanks for listening to Rough Cuts. See you next week. We had to bring you down after Bracelet of Bordeaux, one of the best B movies I've ever seen.
I am so opening. And dog hotel for
And
dogs.
hotel for dogs.
And hotel for dogs. Dog hell. Dog hell. Fuck.
I am going to create an
Hotel
that is so
for dogs.